My bros, today we have a mission. Project Zomboid is a game full of bustling cities, pleasant parks, large malls, gnomes, and Kentucky residents. But not a lot of people pay attention to the quiet life of Project Zomboid. The wilderness, the trees, the absolute nothing around you except a cabin or two and a couple friends. I set the mission to me, Brentos, a seasoned Project Zomboid pro with a large number of hours packed in my belt. I set out a to-do list. I would need to check all of these off my list to call this video a success. Start a farm for sustainable food longer into the apocalypse, get the water up and running so I would have water later into the apocalypse, and get a working generator for power, and find the magazine on how to learn generators. Surely this won't haunt me down the line. A couple of rules before we get started. I was not allowed to cheat, obviously. And dying would not be the end of the video. Why, you may ask? Because I'm actually really shit at this game. Like, really shit. So the video would just be very uninteresting. So if I die, I'm allowed to create a new character and continue off. But I have to keep the same starting stats, which is the burglar role so I can get a car straight away, and I took on the smoker and slow reading traits. Now, let's get this bread. After spawning in the actual middle of bumfuck nowhere, yes that's a real term, I was notified of where I was on the map, near a couple houses and a large cabin. Decent start. I enter the building and loot some basic weapons and clear out the entire building of zombies. I then looted the entire building and ended up leaving because there was hardly anything at all. This is when I realized that this challenge is actually going to be quite difficult because playing Zomboid normally, I'm shit, so playing Zomboid with scarce materials, well, I killed a ton of zombies outside and acquired a literal rabbit suit. No, this is not vanilla, this is a mod. I will link the mods used in the description if you'd like to play along. I then ventured into the true wilderness in search of cabins with also no valuable loot, and then killed a ton more zombies outside before doing the exact same thing as well, looting useless cabins. But I did find a hockey helmet in this tool shed and put it on my head. I then decided it was time to relocate to a more useful area in the wilderness. Around a massive lake sat another large cabin just like the first one. Surely this cabin has more valuable supplies, so I made my way around the lake to the cabin. Some zombies were situated on the outside, but it's safe to say they were no more. And correct I was, this cabin was literally loaded. A ton of military armor and weapons, a fucking winter jacket, knife, and a literal machete. As surprising as the loot sounded, this was a hunting cabin, which I did not realize, meaning this is apparently pretty average loot. Now I wouldn't be surviving for long if all I did was sit around in my newfound home. Directly connected to the cabin by a road and nearby was a few houses, a gun store, and a gas station. Perfect supplies needed to build this home of my own and cross off my plan. I left early in the morning to try and get the most I can in a day, and it was safe to say this road was not entirely safe. Like, there was a lot of fucking zombies. Luckily I had my machete. I found two vehicles on the road as well that were crossed off in my mind as there were no help at all. I reached one of the two houses and brought our city's whole population with me. I safely got into the house and started eating. I also found a can opener and spent the rest of my day looting the house. By nightfall I made it to the gun store. This place was literally lit. Never have I shot a gun in this game and I have no idea how to use them, but trust me, I'm sure this is a good find. I put as much as I can in my backpack and also found a combat axe, my literal favorite melee weapon. After being extremely overloaded, I left the store to make my way back to the cabin to store my newfound goods. I was way too slow and got caught in a horde. Now hold on, apparently if your character turns into a zombie, which mine did, you can get back there and get your loot back, according to my Discord, link in bio, please join. So this is exactly what I did. I spawned in Rosewood and was set on getting my loot back. I ran out of the house, got attacked by a horde, and made my way to the fire station. For anybody who doesn't know, the fire station is like the most goated place to loot as a fresh spawn. Well, from my experience. I entered the building and started looting. Got a Husqvarna chainsaw and an axe. After clearing the building, I started searching for cars with fuel so I can get back to my body. I also killed a zombie with a welding mask, which I put on my head. I cleared out a bunch of zombies near the gas station so I can get gas without a hassle. I got a couple bottles from the nearby store and filled them up with gas. So pretty much you don't need a gas can to get fuel in this game anymore. You can just get like a bottle of water and empty it and chuck it in your car. It's actually pretty good. I moved my car over and filled it up at the gas station and then boom, back on the road to get to my dead body. I arrived and killed the zombies around my body and also killed my body. Don't do this by the way, it damages your clothing. I got all of my loot back and started driving back to my base in the woods. I also for some reason got out of my car because I thought I couldn't drive on dirt. I was wrong, you can drive the car on dirt. You just need to go slowly and carefully. I'm just a fucking idiots. It was a slow and treacherous journey of obtaining nearly every single negative moodle possible, but we made it back. Got myself settled and I went back to sleep. A pretty good journey. I got all of my items back and now we can focus on crossing off my list. And this is when I found out that this was a hunting cabin. In the shelves at the front counter were a ton of guns, backpacks, supplies, and even melee weapons. Literally a ton of stuff, making the journey that I just did almost not even worth it. But either way, can't be upset about free weapons. First things first was to get my car back, as I just left it on the dirt was. So I walked to it, hopped in it, and had the thought of filling it up with fuel at the nearby gas station. I cleared the road ahead so my car wouldn't take any damage hitting the zombies, but ended up hitting 2 useless cars from before. Cool stuff. Cleared some more zombies and spoke about gambling.
I'm like up $2.5 from last week.
Exactly. I reckon you should put that $2.5 straight back in. Put it all in black.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, mate?
Roshin's got a point, bro.
Oh, it does have a point.
And finally made my way to the gas station where I was completely surrounded by the neighboring zombies and got bit. So I entered the gas station shop, chucked all my items in a container and died. Spawned in Rosewood, went to the fire station, got fuel, grabbed car, and I'm back. With my loot back in hand, I sat on my phone for an hour and got back to business. I wanted farm supplies like seeds or shovels or something, I don't know. I started driving and came across 2 cars in a trailer. Keep this trailer in mind, it's actually pretty important. I left and arrived at a multitude of farmhouses where I looted, killed zombies, exercised, read, tried to learn tailoring, drove to house from house, spoke to my friends. Sometimes like the hair already looks good and you're like, I can't risk it.
Yeah, exactly. And then like 3 hours later in the day, it starts to look like a little bit worse, and you're like, oh, I should have showered.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wouldn't be so greasy right now if I did shower.
Yeah. You start sucking dick.
Even shot my first shells on a shotgun. This went over a time period of 2 in real life days, and the best part about it, I didn't find a single fucking farm supply. I spent 2 in real life days and didn't find shit on farms. So I ended up pulling up to a nearby gun store which was absolutely filled to the brim with good supplies. I got a gas mask, some weird chest backpack thing, and a ton of other stuff. So I brought my car closer and started filling that up with the important supplies I found. I hopped in my truck and headed back to my base to stockpile it all. Once arriving to my base, I used some more of my shotgun. As there are no magazines to level up your shooting skills faster, I believe shooting a shotgun is the fastest way, assuming you'll hit your shots, which I did not. The next day, I actually started crossing off my list, starting with the farm. With my axe in hand, I started chopping down trees and building the perimeter with wood walls to protect it from zombies. Oh. As zombies walking over your crops will kill it. After the perimeter was built, I unloaded my packed goods that I found from the gun store and sorted out my base as well. Turns out I did find seeds as well. I don't remember picking them up, but apparently I did. I dug furrows in the ground and placed all my seeds and realized I don't even have a watering can or a bucket or literally anything I can use to water my crops. So basically they're gonna die. But luckily it was rain season, so I may get lucky and the rain will water them for me, but not forever. After all that, I wanted to build a water collector thingy. Since like I just said, it's rain season, I may be able to do a double threat and deal with the water problem at the same time without realizing that there is a massive lake next to me. So I needed to get my carpentry leveled up. So I started dismantling every single thing I can in my base. I got rid of it all except for a single couch so I can sleep. With my base pretty much destroyed and even some of the outside chairs being removed, I decided it was time to clear the nearby gas station for reliable gas, which I'm going to need to power my future generator to run my base when the power goes off, which is coming soon. So I drove through the dirt, which I didn't think I could do beforehand, but here we are. I made my way to the street right next to the gas station, hopped out and started going crazy on the horde of zombies. The horde really got really large, and this is the first time I felt anger in the game of Project Zomboid. I just got bit! And again! I'm dead! Fucking hell! I literally could not get away from these zombies, and after collecting every single negative moodle again, I decided I would sleep on the literal dirt floor. And it worked. I got the zombies off of me and snuck around the woods to get into the same storage room as before, and got my negative moodles dealt with. After finishing that, I took control of the gas station shop and gave it another go on the horde outside. On my way back, I did actually find a generator, so not all was lost, and I marked it on the map so I wouldn't forget. On this run back, I also looted the police station in Rosewood and got some pretty good gear. Like, for real, I got some guns. Anyways. On my way back, a friend from my Discord server joined the call. He has like 700 hours on Project Zomboid, so it's safe to say he knows what he's doing. I passed the trailer again while getting to my body, and he told me you can literally connect this trailer to any car you're driving, which I didn't even know, so I chucked it on my car, and now I have so much more space for transporting items so I don't need to be overloaded and die again. I got back to my area of death, cleared a ton of zombies, spent like 20 minutes trying to find my body.
Oh, your body!
Also, I traumatically destroyed my favorite jumper on my zombie. Killed my body. Don't do this, by the way. It damages your clothing. I cleared the rest of the zombies and got my loot back finally. Filled my trailer up so I'm not overloaded, hopped in my car and brought all my loot home. A failed plan once again. Swart, the Zomboid Pro and Cool, reminded me there is a literal lake outside my cabin, which I can use to get an unlimited supply of water if I boil it in the microwave or stove. So after trying to figure out how to put water in an empty bottle,
Okay. Right click why is it red?
I made my way back to my base and cleared some zombies. Chucked it in and finally got drinkable water. I had a new plan for success and upgrading my skills since I literally keep dying. I keep losing all my skills as skills do not transfer when you go to a new character. In a couple towns over lies a small village with a bookstore. Like I've said in other videos, the Rosewood bookstore is way too populated for my liking and I will die. I grabbed my car and trailer and headed for the bookstore in this random village. I grabbed every single book you could think of, carpentry, metalwork, first aid even, and filled my whole trailer with them and smoked a ciggy before bedtime.
I smoke before bed.
And the next day I decided to head home in the fog, but not before looting the police station and killing a few more zombies. Oh, and also getting bitten, for fuck's sake. I headed to Rosewood to grab the generator I found beforehand and to die again so I could get my loot back faster as I spawned in Rosewood. I decided to reside in an isolated house just outside of Rosewood where a horde was imminent, so I snuck around in the forest and made it inside peacefully. I got myself situated and died in the garage. I spawned in a nearby police station again and booked it straight to the isolated house. With one thing left to do as the farm was created and the crops were growing, water now available almost, I need one more thing. I need power. Without power, the oven and microwave will eventually stop working, so I need a generator and one more item. The absolute nightmare of an item, the How to Use Generators magazine. This item is a tale of hardship and pain. People go months in this game without even finding the magazine, meaning they will never see power. This magazine is the answer to survival. Without this magazine, the world you live in will eventually eat you up and the darkness takes over it all. Anyways, the search begins now for the generator magazine. But before the search started, I did actually find a ghillie suit on a random zombie in a house. Pretty cool. After searching mailboxes, every single cupboard in every single house, every single room, and dying a few times, the end was coming close. This magazine will need to be in my possession soon if I want to survive. The search continued everywhere, every single place. The end was coming. And as all stories go that I've done in Zomboid, in the end I was surrounded. And with no chance, I had it all. Except for one thing. The generator magazine. Hold it right there, my brothers and sisters. I'm starting a Project Zomboid server, like usually just for my Discord and my friends and stuff, my Discord server. But the catch is, if you want to be in it, you literally can. It's going to be an open server for anyone, and I'm going to be recording all my future Zomboid videos on that server. So if you want to join, yeah, just join the Discord. I'll put the link in the description, and yeah, you can play, and you can play with me and everyone else. It's fun. Yeah, but you don't have to. Anyway, thank you for watching, and adios.